What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you guys, well, with an update video. I know I had an update video about 3 weeks ago. In fact, that video was actually in preparation to show you some deck profiles. I had some cool videos that I was looking to edit together to show you guys, and me driving to my locals and riding on my motorcycle, talking about the Yu-Gi-Oh game, the meta. And that video was about 3 weeks, so it's probably a little bit out of date with the release of the new set. And I was excited to do that, but unfortunately, that never really happened. For anyone that might not have known what's going on, if anyone that might not have known what's going on, I actually had caught COVID. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna say the name. I don't care at this point. Like, it's whatever. YouTube, do whatever. And what had happened was, so let me, you know what? I'll go over my whole COVID story, and then we'll go over everything else. I think that's kind of important. Like everything else in this video. This is, like I said, a complete update video. I am going to be going back to be recording YouTube videos soon, so that is the bonus. I'm actually really excited. Got my dolls over here. I'm gonna be showing some updated profiles. I got a bunch of other decks, and I'm excited to get back to playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Playing this game since it came out, and I'm not gonna stop anytime soon. But I will say, so let's go over this whole story. So my son came home from school, and he had COVID. We knew he had COVID, 100%. And he was sick in bed for about a day. 2 days. So my wife's, so if anyone doesn't know, I have 4 kids. And what had happened was my wife's in this room over here with our 2 infants, and we got our 2 kids. And obviously, our other son, we went in the room with her when he came down to sleep and whatnot. But for the most part, we kind of separated everybody. I only had interaction with my older son. And the reason that is because if anyone caught COVID, it'd rather be me than my wife, obviously. But that's not how COVID works. So I was okay. Within a day, was okay, and then slowly but surely, my other son got it. My wife got it. My infants got it, which scared us for a little bit. But they all handled like champs. And me and my wife both had it, and basically we had a little bit of a cough. That's all it was. A little bit of a cough. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too wild. I remember when I had the cough, I was like, wow, COVID's kind of garbage. And my wife had it as well. And, just take nothing but cough drops. That's basically what I have here. And and that was basically it for a couple of days. And then I remember I think I recorded a live stream or a YouTube video, and I was really sweating afterwards. It's probably around 11 a.m., 12 in the afternoon, roughly, when I finished everything up. And what happened was it felt like I ran 9 marathons, worked out at the gym for like 10 years. Like, my body was just shot. I remember going to my wife and going, hey, listen, I need to sleep. I need a rest. I'm just a little bit tired. And that's whatever, I'm an old man. I take naps every now and then. So it was nothing out of the ordinary. And I laid down for about 3 days. Me and my wife, we don't even know if I used the bathroom or not. All I know is for 3 days, I was in that bed, pretty much out cold. And when I really came to, I couldn't breathe. I could still breathe, but it wasn't like how. So it was like this. Okay? Breathing now, obviously, you go, right? When I woke up, my breathing was basically this. That was it. That was all I could breathe. That's all I could breathe. So obviously, you get work. Like, you wake up and your brain's going, what's going on? What happened? And it definitely felt like I could die. I definitely felt that. But I didn't have any much energy to do anything because my body was just, once again, it was really bad. So, so I was laying in bed, and basically I was just going through that. My wife obviously was being a big helper and helping with the kids. And at nighttime, and this is the part where it really sucked, actually, probably around like midnight, when everyone was asleep, I couldn't sleep, obviously. When you're breathing like that, you just can't sleep. You can sleep, but like the minute you fall asleep, your body just kind of jerks you awake. And nonstop soreness, nonstop muscle pains, until roughly around 7 in the morning. And then I slept for about half an hour, if I'm lucky. And then I'll restart the day. So within about a day or two of that, I was like, I can't do this. I have to call we gotta call an ambulance. I can't have my wife drive me in the car with the kids. It's insane. I'd rather just call an ambulance and have them pick me up. So I did. Call the ambulance. Ambulance picking me up. Got to the hospital, and they put a bunch of needles in me. Now, I was exhausted. My body was just absolutely burnt. So they were like sticking, and you can still, I'm not sure if you can see some of the whatever on my arms. This one's actually kind of messed up, but you get it. Like needles. I mean, these aren't those needles, but anyway. So they're my body was just absolutely ripped apart. So I was just laying down, and they were just sticking needles in me, and I had no energy. So I hate needles. I just want to throw it out there. And normally when needles happen, you did it like that. I was like, dude, whatever. And he was like, phew. And I was like, yep, I don't care. My body's shot. It doesn't matter. And that kind of sucked because I knew like something like needles kind of whatever. Anyway, I'm making a big deal out of it, but I really don't like needles. So they did a scan on my chest, and then they came in after a while, and they said, okay, so you have COVID. Shocker. You also your body's also has pneumonia brought on by COVID. Okay, sure. In my mind, I'm thinking I'm probably being admitted. They're probably giving me some more tests, blood work, doctor stuff. They were like, and just got to go home and kind of walk around a bit. I'm so go serious with it. They're like, go home and walk it off. Okay, coach. Anyway, they got me up. They walked me out of the ER and in front of the ER outside where people come in and out. So I'm outside the ER, lunched over, obviously, because I can't fully sit. Waiting for my wife to come pick me up. And filled with COVID, all kinds of COVID. And then they brought me home. And then my wife brought me home. And then I fell asleep for another couple of days and had to deal with the breathing and the muscle pains. So eventually, laying in bed, taking medicine, eventually it gets a little bit easier to move around. Eventually. My breathing starts getting back to a little bit normal, not fully normal. It's still not fully normal. I'm coughing because my lungs are kind of getting a little messed up. But I'll talk about that in a second. I'm explaining this to everybody watching this video, by the way, so you can understand the side of the virus that maybe people aren't really bringing it down to you. And I'll tell you right now, I didn't take the vaccine. And I'm not trying to tell you to take the vaccine. I'm not trying to tell you not to take the vaccine. I'm not doing any of that crap. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm just explaining to you my side of the story because I think it's really important. And the reason I'm doing this whole story is to let you know why I was gone for, I made a video like, hey, I'm coming back, and then didn't come back, so this is why. Anyway, I had to deal with, being in bed and it was a really crappy feeling. But eventually I got a little bit better. And I can make my way from the bed to my computer, okay? And one thing, I couldn't do much. Every now and then, check online. I got a lot of messages from a lot of people. Everyone was like kind of basically wondering what's going on. And I'll tell you right now, when I was in bed, I couldn't even lift my phone, so that kind of sucked. Anyway, so I got to go on my computer. I could check things a little bit, and I remember the lady saying, hey, listen, ride the bike. So that's what I did. I actually have a workout bike I bought and hopped on it. And within a couple of days of doing that and doing this, hold on. They gave me this to work my lungs out. You basically put your mouth on it. Don't even whatever. Don't even make the jokes. And you kind of got to measure it, and you got to do that like twice an hour. That's what I did basically. To like stretch the lungs out. I thought I was getting better. Well, the problem was my breathing wasn't getting better. So what had happened was I had to go back to the hospital. No big deal. I go, park my car. I get out. Once again, I can't. Every 5 feet I walk feels like I walk 10 miles. So by the time I got to the ER, I said, hi, how's it going? They asked my name, gave my name, and they said, you're hyperventilating. We had to get you in a room. And I barely had enough energy in my lungs to talk. I was like, whatever, this is okay. So we get to the room, and they hook me up, and they're like, all right, we gotta admit you for the night. And I was like, not gonna happen. Little fun fact about me in hospitals is I don't like being in hospitals. I don't like being in hospitals at all. I don't like being overnight in hospitals because I don't trust hospitals. Because, hospitals, especially my first experience with the ER. So I was like, dude, is there any way can I go home? Because I don't want to be here, but I want the help to, let me know what's going on. So after a bunch of more tests and more needles, which I definitely felt and absolutely hurt. All those needles hurt so badly. They put one in my right here, and they moved it around inside. So I had a needle in my and moving around. Oh, oh, that's a monster. That's a monster stuff. And then they couldn't find the vein. Of course not. So they had to stick it over here, and they had to move it around. And oh, I felt every little bit of that. And the worst part is the guy. They're so nice. The guy was like, "Hey man, I'm really sorry," and I'm like, "You're just doing your job." And it's inside. I'm just going, ah! I'm screaming my top. Like, it hurts a lot. If I'm not sure if it had a needle inside, you're just moving around, but it's a really bad feeling. So I'm like, "You're just doing your job," and I'm just screaming. And every couple of seconds, he goes, "Really sorry, buddy," and I'm like, "Do it, just do it. You're good, buddy." Anyway, God, that hurt so much. All right, so after we played a bunch of needle games, which were bad, got bodied, 0-2, I had a lung doctor come in, and she's like, "Hey, listen, I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. I'll let you go home, but you got to come see me the next thing tomorrow." I said, "That's a pretty sweet deal." Okay, fine, fair enough. The next day, I go to a lung doctor, and the lung doctor goes, "Yeah, we have to admit you." And I go, "Come on. I told you I don't want to be here. I mean, I want help, but I don't want to stay in the hospital. Like, I just don't like being in hospitals. To me, it's like jail, the hospital. Like, I just don't like being in hospitals." Anyway, for anyone who has been admitted to a hospital, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For anyone who has family admitted to a hospital and they tell you don't like being there, just know they're not lying. It's a terrible experience. Even though the nurses are really nice. The nurses I had were all absolutely amazing. They're absolutely amazing nurses. So, going back to it, the lady said, "Listen, if you have a blood clot in your lungs, if you go home, you're going to die." And I was like, okay, we don't want that. What can I do? She's like, "Okay, get admitted. Or else, like, you could go home and just roll the dice, and you might die." So, I got admitted. From the second I got there, I'm not going to lie to you, I just kept telling everybody who would listen, "I want to get out of here. Please, let's go as fast as possible." I get the scan comes back, I don't have a blood clot, luckily. I do have some little bit of damage, but eventually it'll heal up. So there's that. Nothing too crazy. A little pneumonia. I have a bunch of medication I'm taking for all that stuff. But it definitely was a scary thought, because it was a real thought that I could have died. 100%. If I had a blood clot in my lungs and then went untreated, I was not making it. No doubt in my mind. And that's what they told me. And they said, if it goes, you're just gone. That's it. There's no, like, maybe. If we find it, we could treat it. It won't be, you won't feel happy about it, but we could definitely treat it. I mean, once again, there was multiple times during having this virus that I felt like I was going to die. I'm just going to throw it out there to anybody out there. If anyone needs vindication on that, I know people may have heard that before, but it's true. There's times where I had it where I was like, I'm going to die. And that sucks. I'm a father of 4. I want to see my kids grow up. It's a really rough feeling. And it's something that I definitely don't ever want to feel again. Ever. I'm trying to think what else happened. So the next day they go, "We could have you for another day observation." I'll go, "Get me out of here." So they get me out of here, and I'm home. So that kind of brings us to where we are today. I still have a lot of medication and have a couple of things. As you might have noticed, that is a travel air tank. It has no air. I fell asleep with it on. You're not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to be getting another air tank. I don't really care. And then I have another one over here to give me more air. Because at times, my body might not have enough air. Now, I quit vaping. Yay. A little gawk off of myself. I don't care. But I still smoke. Baby steps. I will tell you, going through all this, dealing with all this, it's something that I don't like. Now let's bring it back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Konami's doing something that I don't like, but I totally understand. With the YCS events happening, you have to. They want you to take the vaccine in order to play in YCS events. I hate that, like, so much. But I get it. They don't want nobody going through what I went through. And this is why I'm telling you my story as well, because it's important for you to understand the fact that this virus can easily kill you. Absolutely no doubt in my mind. Now, I'm overweight. I do smoke, at the time I did vape as well. So I was up there, But other than that, I'm a relatively healthy guy. I worked out. I walked around a lot. Besides all that other stuff, which is definitely bad. Um, but this virus definitely almost killed me. And if it could happen to me, it could happen to anybody. You watching. Now, I'm not going to tell you to take the stupid vaccine. I hate the fact that vaccine things has become political. But I will say for those out there, just know that this could happen to you. That's all I want to say. For those who have the vaccine and are yelling at everyone to take the vaccine, just shut up. Like you're not helping anybody by babbling. I hate that. As far as Konami's policy, I will say this: the only amendment to Konami's policy I would definitely and I would try to reach out to Konami, but I doubt they'll respond. Would be to at least go, hey, listen, if you had the virus and you have proof that you have antibodies, which is better than a vaccine, all the vaccines, talk to my doctors, is 1,000,000% proven, you're allowed to go as long as you can show proof you have the antibodies. That's the only thing I would make an amendment to as far as the Konami's policy, as far as the YCS. Like I said, I'm excited to get back to doing videos. I love doing YouTube videos. I love my shadows, and I can't wait to do videos about them, as well as other decks in the game. I'm really excited to talk about. The meta is really getting really cool and really exciting. And I'm just really excited to be back to doing all this. And lucky I'm alive to do all this, because I'm going to emphasize the point that I could not be, like, there's a chance I really could not have been here, just as much as a chance I could have been here. That's a fact. It's not a maybe. Several times. I mean, it ain't just even the feeling I can die. It's my body just shutting down because of this virus. I was in the COVID wing of the hospital, and also going to nurses, and she said there's people that are just not going to go home. It's just not going to happen. They're not making it. They're just making them as comfortable as possible. Like, a lot of messed up stuff. And I'm in this wing going, I just want to scan. If I had no blood clot, I get to go home, and a lot of people can't. And that's really, upsetting and depressing. And obviously, hospitals don't know how to deal with this fully. I know when I first went to the ER, they had zero idea what the hell was going on. Like, they knew what I had. They knew the whole situation. They did whatever. But they let me go home, which you're not supposed to do. But then again, once again, it's the ER doctors, not regular, like, doctors, like lung doctors and whatnot. So what's going to happen to me health-wise? I'm going to take a lot of cough drops so I don't throw up, because my body will throw up if I don't take enough cough drops. It's all swollen over here. My lungs are still messed up, but they are healing. I have to take air every now and then in order to not, feel like really bad, because being low on air can be hugely problematic. I don't have to explain that, but that's a thing. But I'm excited to get back to being to normal life, and eventually I'm very lucky I will have one. There's no permanent damage on me. With that said, listen, paisanos, I know it's been a bit of a wild ride. I've been meaning to make this video for a while. I had different ways to making it. I think I recorded this kind of video like 4 different times, but this is just the easiest way of doing it and being straight up with you guys. I'm not playing games. I'm not joking around. I could not have been here, and it's a reality of the unfortunate circumstances of today's the virus. I hate the fact that the virus is politicized. I think it's really retarded. I'm a conservative. If anyone's like, oh, Trump this, whatever, I'm a conservative by nature. But when it comes down to this virus, it comes down to health. And what do you think? Once again, I'm not going to tell you to take the vaccine. I'm not going to tell you not to take the vaccine, because I'm not, your health is on your hands. But I will say, just, go over everything and just be careful as far as what can happen. Because what happens to me can definitely happen to you. And being put in a hospital, at that point, when you're in the hospital and you're laid up, it doesn't matter if you have the vaccine or not. It does not matter. You are laid up and you're in a situation in which you really, really don't want to be in. I hope nobody has to go through what I went through at all. Seriously, it's Jesus, man. That was the roughest thing I think I've ever been through my entire life. Almost dying, and then feeling like you're almost dying. It's just, it's rough. And like I said, I don't really have an answer for anybody out there as far as like what's comparable to that. It's just, it really, really, really was like on the wire with me. And back to talking about Yu-Gi-Oh. Listen, I'm really excited to show you guys Shadows. I have a bunch of ideas for Shadows. I have a bunch of decks. I might start streaming again on Twitch, maybe. maybe I don't know. Maybe eventually, I might record videos. If this video ever got to Konami, which I doubt, but whatever. I definitely think that amendium is insanely important, because if someone has antibodies and you give them the vaccine, that has a whole slew of different issues. And hopefully Konami knows about these. And listen, if you don't want to if you don't want to take the vaccine to play the YCS, don't. If you want to if you have the vaccine and you want to go YCS, go ahead. No big deal. But I just think that having a choice to play cards and vaccine, I don't agree with that. But I do understand why Konami's doing that. They don't want nobody to end up like how I ended up, being in the hospital multiple times, having a lung doctor. I have to go to the doctors tomorrow. I have more appointments now. I have to take a bunch of medication, and it sucks. I'll be honest, like it's the worst feeling. I got up this morning at 8 in the morning. And, I'll try to stay awake throughout the day. Hopefully I'll be able to go to locals and we'll check that out. But, listen, if you still for the whole video, thank you so much to everybody. Thank you so much for everybody, for everything that's going on. Sorry I didn't get an opportunity to tell everybody what was happening. I just, I didn't, I just didn't, it's hard to verbalize all what's going on. This is my story about what happened. And like I said, please just be careful out there. Whether you're just an everyday average Joe, whether you're just a guy out there who's taking just vitamins, do whatever you gotta do to have a strong immune system, and be safe out there. You can wear a mask, not wear a mask. It's all decisions you decide to make, but just realize it plays into your health, and it plays into the health of those who you live with or you might know and be around. So be careful. Ironically, one of my best friends was over the night before when we didn't know if my son had COVID, and my best friend was over the night before. Next day, it was like late. I was gonna tell him to stay over, sleep over, and he wound up going home. And then the next day, my son 100% had COVID because they did the test. And then we were just like, you missed a bullet, and he really did miss a bullet. So it was kind of crazy like that. Like I said, Paisano, I really appreciate you guys watching this entire video. I know it's really long, but I think it's really important for everyone to understand what's happening out there. I'm 37 years old, and this happened to me. I'm probably a little bit older for you good duelists. You guys are probably around your 20s, but it's not long before this thing mutates and can attack younger. So just be careful. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm not your mother or father. I never will tell you what to do, but it's wild. And I can't wait to go back to making Yu-Gi-Oh videos, right? Like, I can't wait. Like, you have no idea how excited I am to go back to recording Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Anyway, Paisanos, it's your boy V, YGOPaisanos. You Paisanos have a great day.